This was not the video I was gonna do this week, but I don't think it's gonna happen this week because we all got a cold, you know, weather changes, it's time to get sick again, all that good stuff. So I haven't really been out in the shop like I want to, trying to rest up a little bit. Been able to take care of some other stuff that you have to do when you're running any kind of business that you don't really want to do because you didn't get into bladesmithing to do paperwork and fill out, you know, paperwork and all that kind of stuff. But that all has to be done, so I got some of that done. I got some stencils cut today, you know, for etching logos on some of the knives that I don't stamp the logos into. So, excuse me. Yeah. So I'm just kind of doing some odds and ends, picking up a few things here and there that are always in the back of your mind that you know you need to get done and you put off. Well, I do. Maybe you don't. Maybe you all don't do that. But I do. Because I'm human, I guess. So one of those things is finishing this cane sword. And you guys saw a little video. I did a short on it and just gluing it together, and then you saw I got a wood lathe, and I have not done anything else on it since then. But my wood lathe tool is different than when you last saw it. I reforged it into a bit of a gouge. It's not a big one, but the people that know how to use a wood lathe mentioned that a gouge is good for roughing out material on a wood lathe. So I reforged that. I just have to put an edge on it, and then assuming that we can safely chuck this up, well, it's not a chuck, stick this between the centers. I want to go ahead and try to get this turned now. So thought I'd bring you guys along on that and see what we can do here, and hopefully not break anything. Supposed to have been putting knives on, or handles on these all these kitchen knives this week too. Hopefully we'll get to that later this week. And then I got these in the works too. These are I forged at the same time as the kitchen blades. These are all heat treated and ready for grinding. It's got some cool blades in this batch. So those will be coming in a few weeks hopefully. And we got this guy too. Just want to make sure this still fits okay. With all the rain we've been having lately, I would not be surprised if the wood, is that the right way? Yeah. If the wood was swollen a little bit. Nope, we're good. With the humidity, cause a problem, but no, it's fine. All right, good. All I know is this is getting dangerously close to like woodworking that I'm not qualified for. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully it doesn't end badly. I hope this works. Look at that, we're a little bit too long here. I expected that. And this cane blank is longer than it needs to be. I'm gonna have to cut this down. Use the metal bandsaw to cut this off nice and square. Try to get this centered up here. So I've got the I don't know, whatever this is, you know, that one thingy, the headstock center, the little fingers or teeth. Trying to put them where it's not going to put any pressure on this joint, this glued joint along here. And the tailstock center is I guess it could potentially split that apart, so I guess we'll test how strong our glue joint is here. It should be, what do they say, stronger than the wood itself, right? So looking at down right here on my tool rest, looking at the gap on each corner, it appears to be fairly well centered. Well, so far so good. Yeah, this gouge type tool seems to be doing a much better job of removing material than that other thing that I forged last time. So let's press forward. All right, well, this is going pretty well so far. Yeah, and thanks to the people in the comments on the last wood lathe video I did who mentioned that using a gouge is a better option for a lot of stuff on the lathe here. As I mentioned, I'm a complete novice, so you know I didn't know that at first. And this, as crude as it is, this gouge here is working pretty well, and I have the whole thing roughed down. But this is the end that's going to be on the floor, and I have a cane foot coming that's 1 inch diameter that'll fit on the end of this and provide some traction and shock absorbance. So I need to turn this down to 1 inch, and I don't know exactly how long this section is going to, or this piece of the cane is going to be, since I have the handle to build as well, and that's going to add some height. So I want to turn down like the bottom 5 inches or so to 1 inch so that I can trim this as needed, and it will still fit the cane foot, and then have a very slight taper up here, and we'll see what kind of diameter we have at the very top here. But I've got some material to take off still, so let's keep going. All right, so we've got it right in within 1 or 2 thousandths. Definitely close enough. Well, within 5 anyway. Definitely close enough for a rubber cane foot. So we'll continue on and taper up from there, and leave this, this same size. All right, so the next thing I got to be worried about here, I don't know if you can see it, but the thickness of the wall here on either side of the edge and the spine of the sword where it fits in. And right now it's about 1/4 inch, I think, and this diameter is about 1 3/8. So I think if we go down to about 1 1/4 diameter right here, that will be an adequate wall thickness and an adequate size for the cane sword here. Maybe not much more than what it is right now. That might be pretty close, but I'm just going to feather this in a little bit and adjust that somewhat. I went ahead and blew all the sawdust out of the grain here. I'm going to go ahead and treat this with some boiled linseed oil. Make sure that it's protected from the elements. Still a lot of work to do. I have to create a ferrule, some kind of catch system, the handle that goes on the tang of the blade, obviously. But overall, I am really happy with the way this turned out. As my first ever, well, maybe I guess technically second, but first ever real wood turning project. And like I said, there's still a lot of work to do on this, but this was one of the steps that I was most apprehensive about. And so pretty happy to have that behind me. And if I need to trim this up a little bit, I can, and we'll just move forward with the project. So appreciate you guys coming along on my sick day at the shop here. And yeah, the video that I did have planned for this week was the Damascus or pattern welded steel fighter. Did a pull on the channel here, and it was neck and neck for a while between a Damascus fighter and a folding knife, and then the Damascus fighter pulled ahead. I'm going to do both. I'm just going to do the Damascus fighter first, since that's what the pull all y'all indicated. And anyway, appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you on the next video.